The next Beetleweight we have for you is Brendan's Limblifter up against Pierre's Wilson. In the previous round here, Limblifter surprisingly manages to squeak out a win against Utopia, or against Low Blow, I should say. Oh, which one was it? Utopia? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a very unexpected match, but thankfully he was able to tank a lot of hits against Low Blow, long enough for Low Blow to find himself getting thrown out of the arena. He now goes up against Pierre's Wilson, which is a vertical spinner this time, which itself has made a somewhat surprising run through the ladder, as its plastic outer body actually holding up well against some of the other spinners that we've seen today. To make matters even more interesting, both of these guys joining us from Edmonton. So Edmonton coming in and working their way through our ladder. Thank you very much for them for showing up today to our Canadian National Championships. We have people from all over North America joining us, so thank you to all of our builders and drivers for coming out here for this event. Limblifter in the red corner here, you can see this one again, he's changed the configuration from the last fight, so he has his anti-spinner chisel on the front, which has been surprisingly effective against spinners. And instead of having two arms, he only has one, which he can use as a self-righting mechanism, or in this case, a self-unrighting mechanism. It'll eventually, this is like that creepy broken doll your sister had that kind of wiggled around. I feel sorry for this robot. It'll eventually work. 30% of the time, it works every time. Yeah. A couple of hits from Wilson and it'll buff it right out, I'm sure. All right, Brendan with Limblifter in the red corner, Pierre with Wilson in the blue corner. We will start in 3, 2, 1, fight. And the drum coming up on Wilson there. Not quite a straight shot as he gets around the side of Limblifter. Limblifter trying to get to the side of Wilson, of course. He wants a pushing match. You can see he's left his push out open, but Wilson driving into him a little bit up on the wedge and just kind of grinding away slightly at the aluminum front and hard up on the chisel there and into the plastic handle that is the support for it, now into the sides of the body, nicking away at that aluminum. What he's really hoping for is to hit it at a rather high speed, like he just did that hazard there, because then the teeth will really engage and toss his opponent. But with light bumps on the side, there you go, a nice good grab in the corner, chucking Limblifter up in the air, who falls nicely clean on his wheels again. And Wilson, bit of a pushing match, trying to get into the corner there of Limblifter. You can see once again, if he can hit him just right, he'll throw him into the air and possibly out of the arena. I think that's largely what he's hoping to do, because otherwise this big brick is kind of hard to damage. 2 minutes left to go. Continuing to grind away on the aluminum on the outside there. Now hitting on the side of the of that little wedge on the front. A good idea. Might be able to break it off if he hits it just right, although at this point, unfortunately, he keeps getting bounced weapon straight into that hazard, and again going over the hazard. Trying to go in for another run, but narrowly misses going in at. Hitting the corners of the frame, those nice square corners will really grab nicely on the weapon, but you can see that chisel going into the weapon, holding it back, because the chisel is on. Ooh, a big chunk came off of the plastic holding that chisel on, but lots left. Because that chisel is on a hinge, the whole thing just kind of flips back harmlessly anytime it takes a big hit from Wilson's big spinning drum on the front there. Limblifter maybe having a little bit of trouble controlling itself, kind of spinning around in one spot as Wilson waits for the right time to strike, and there he goes for it. Unfortunately, the edge of his wedge thing holds him, and now a nice hard hit on the corner and then into the side, jamming up against him. The weapon is stuck. 52 seconds. And there he goes, gets out of it, spins the weapon again, now putting Limblifter on its back. Limblifter looking rather helpless, but Wilson not stopping any attacks here. Another hard hit on the side, flipping him back up right ways, and Limblifter limping along. He is not moving. He's going to get counted out, but you know what? Wilson's going in for another hit. He's got 30 seconds still on the clock. I don't know if he's worried that Limblifter's going to get away on him, or just wants to get as much damage as he can before the later rounds. 20 seconds still to go. Pierre lining up another hit for Wilson. And another one on the side. I can see some chunks of aluminum coming off. But the ref is very clear that there's nowhere that Limblifter's going. Wilson just keeps hitting him. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that'll be the end of the fight. Down to time. Congratulations to both drivers. This will now go to a judge's decision. And it will be a question of damage, aggression, and control shown throughout the match. Definitely some damage showing on Limblifter as it is largely unable to move at the end of that fight. And aggression basically comes down to who's going after who, and control a matter of who is able to control the movement of who. So sticking them in the corner, pushing them around, basically keeping them going the opposite direction of where they wish to be going. And it is unanimous. The win will go to Wilson. Congratulations, Pierre.